Hello everyone, happy you could be here. Let's dive in. Sit at My Grave, Season 3, Ego's Death, Chapter 26. Delicious fresh scents of baked breads filled the air. There were people out and about. It didn't seem nearly as hectic as where Arden just came from. It wasn't a utopia, but he at least wasn't getting rushed into as much here. And though he was still learning, he could figure out people were presumably taking time to say their please, thank yous, and excuse me's. Another thing he was noticing more now that he was touched down and walking in the place for a while was how cold it was starting to get. It was no longer summer, clearly. Arden shuddered a bit as another chilly wind blew by, shifting Arden's hair gently with it. He tucked his coat on closer before he continued his walk, tucking his luggage along with him. He was searching for the best places for public transportation. He at least knew the area he needed to be in, but it was difficult constantly trying to stop and translate things.
Are you lost?
The voice caught Arden's attention while he was looking up at the sign in the back of his phone.
You look sleepy. You should have a nap.
Arden frowned. He could at least understand what this person was saying, but their voices grating on his ears. The young girl stood next to Arden. She looked him up and down before frowning.
Where are you from?
She asked. Go away, Arden grumbled, going back to try and map out his route. Suddenly, another tug got his attention. He glared down, seeing her pulling at his coat, looking at it.
You must be cold. You should have mittens, too. My mom makes me wear mittens, you see?
She said, releasing Arden's coat to show him her hands. Didn't I tell you to leave? Arden asked again.
But you are lost, aren't you? My parents say you should always help the elderly.
She beamed, smiling up at him. Arden frowned. He was trying to be patient. Surely the girl meant no harm. Or maybe Genevieve had tainted him, and he couldn't help but think of her when he saw another little girl with a big, stupid smile. Either way, it wouldn't last. He was here for something important. He had no time to entertain a strange child.
Maybe I could help you carry something across the street?
She offered, grabbing at one of Arden's bags. Arden yanked it back, making the young girl stumble back a bit, a look of surprise on her face. Go bother someone else, Arden sneered at her. He began walking while he checked his phone for directions. Again, she got in front of him.
Do you only speak English? I can help you. I speak both.
She offered again. Listen. Arden could feel the aggression bubbling up again. He looked down to yell at her, but immediately got a sinking feeling that he was being watched. He looked up, around the little girl. He could swear he saw something peeking at him from around a building. He couldn't make out the expression at all. He could only vaguely recognize it looked strangely human-shaped. It was there and gone so fast. He was questioning his mind again. Had he seen anything? Or was it a lingering fear? Had whatever that was moved so quickly? Or simply got lost in the crowd? He didn't even know if he was meant to see it or not.
Mister, are you okay?
A small concerned voice asked. Arden glanced at her, then back to that building. He saw nothing, but still, he took off in the other direction. It was faster than his normal walking speed, but not so much to call attention to himself. He had to stop being so distracted. He used the heel of his palm, hitting himself in the head a few times just to snap out of it. Being upset about Reed was one thing, but he'd never do what he was here for. He kept seeing things that weren't there. Clearly he didn't know everything, but the only time he'd really been acquainted by something from the other side was when he'd called upon it. He was convinced the closer he got to fixing things, the more paranoid he was becoming. That had to be it. Arden glanced around himself, a sudden discomfort crawling up him. Had a feeling that people were staring, turning their gaze just as he caught them. He gave a few people dirty looks as he passed them. He was unsure if they were warranted or not, but he wanted to have them back off so he could focus. These strangers had no idea what he was going through. He had no right to cast judgment. Stop. The only thing on your mind needs to be fighting wrong. If the Neelys are still around, they or someone from that area has to know about the knife. Arden thought as he passed in the streets. He eventually struggled to find public transportation. It'd be another long travel, having on his way to Rome. More money and more time, but at least on his way there, he could rest a little. His hair-triggered paranoia had to have something to do with his lack of sleep as well. As he rode past, he again took in the structures of the buildings. They had a cottage-type feel, rustic and strong, cozy, plenty of trees along with the buildings. Arden came to realize the place was around a lot of bodies of water. He closed his eyes, feeling the chill breeze on his face through the slightly cracked window as he traveled down roads. A ring caught Arden's attention as he was dozing off while watching his sights. He quickly answered his phone without much thought. "Hello?" Arden spoke. "Hey Arden, what's up?" Galen's voice sounded. Arden sat up a bit. "Keeping busy. What are you doing?" Arden asked. Galen went silent for a little while before clearing his voice. "There's holidays coming up soon, a few breaks. I was thinking about coming home at some point," Galen announced, voice getting more chipper. "Oh, well, did you tell your family about it already?" Arden questioned, trying to keep slight tabs of where he was being driven to while he talked. "I did, but, they were expecting me anyway. Man, I'm so excited to see everyone. The college has been really fun so far. I want you to meet the friends I made here. You'll never guess who I reconnected with either." Galen jabbered. Arden blew some air, his face becoming stiff. "Everything's going great with you, huh?" he questioned dryly. "Well, not everything, I guess. I've gotten out of my comfort zone a lot, though, so, I guess that's something. I feel like I'm finding myself and, losing some things at the same time, Galen said, in between prideful and something else. Comfort zone? You keep talking about all these new experiences, but you've always talked to a lot of people, and you're going to school to teach," Arden replied. "Well, what are you doing?" Galen tried to get off that subject. It was like deja vu talking to him. He understood Arden might be a little lost right now. But he wasn't the only one with a tough decision being made. "Nothing, just helping my mom and grandma, stuff like that," Arden lied. Talking to Galen was a good distraction. He focused on him while he switched between his transports, being careful to stay on his path to Ralma. Galen made a noise. Not exactly, but it was something in disbelief. "You're traveling. You aren't even in the States," Galen clarified. Arden opened his mouth to speak, but stopped. He wasn't sure if he accidentally made a noise, or Galen could just read him that easily. "My folks told me. I spoke to your family too, to catch up. I don't get it. Why didn't you just tell me you were traveling?" Galen asked. The frown was evident in his voice. Was this a confrontation, or just genuine confusion? "Well, if you knew already, why did you ask?" Arden questioned. He regretted it as soon as he said it, but telling him was harder. Galen asked a lot of questions, and he simply couldn't be involved in this. He didn't even know how safe he was being involved, but for the first time, his self wasn't exactly top priority. He was going into this with his mind fixated of righting his wrongs. The last thing he needed was Galen getting in it. He even regretted having him sit through those sessions before, especially after what happened to Reed now. Besides that, he might involve others. That would cause stoppage. Without fear of anything else happening with him, maybe if Galen got too concerned after actually learning the truth, he would call in professionals to deal with him. After all, the first time Arden mentioned anything about getting his brother back, Galen thought he was going through a psychotic break